And we are live. Good evening, friends, and welcome to our midweek song swap. We are Dan and Faith, coming to you from Charlestown, New Hampshire, where the snow is finally melting. And we are joined this week by our good friend Pat Lamana from Hyde Park, New York. And for my friends in the Cooperstown area, that's the real Hyde Park, not ours. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice to be here.
It's great to have you on. I have
Thank
some
you.
roots in the Hudson Valley. I grew up in New York City, but I spent a bunch of time up around Beacon, and I know you spent a lot of time with Pete over the years, and I had done so when I was in college.
And I grew up in New York City, too. Where in New York City did you grow up?
I was born in Queens. When I was 4, we moved to the Berkshires. When I was 12, we moved to Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
So I went to junior high school on the Upper East Side at Wagner and Bronx Science.
Uh-huh. I went to Hunter High School.
Okay,
I lived in Washington Heights.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I had lots of friends who went to Hunter, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But
very good. So we'll start off with a song that we could all use a little love in this day and age. So this is for everybody who's in the need.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Oh, let me.
Let's drop a few banners here. They're hogging the screen.
There we go. All right.
Alrighty.
This is called Love is the Song. Each of us is damaged. Each of us is flawed. We do our best, try to be exactly who we are. Acceptance is believing in where we are today. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Welcoming newborn twins on their first day. Pleasure and pain will come along the way. The future is theirs. Give them time to play. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Young lovers out for a stroll on a starry night. A gentle hug or smile, a laugh of delight. Working together, their dreams take to flight. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Holding a hand as aging eyes grow dim, a gentle smile when the world just seems so grim. A good life is ending, another soon begins. Love is the answer, love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer. Love is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting out
Ah,
with the dulcimer.
that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always good to start off with a dulcimer.
Yeah. No,
Never quite know where I'm going to start, so it's great
I was
fun.
trying to decide whether to start on the guitar or the banjo tonight. And, too many different choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. So what are you thinking about?
Well, it's, of course, St. Patrick's Day, and I figured I have to do some kind of nod to that. I only wanted to do my own song, so this is a song that I wrote a year ago. And it was my first, I think it was my first COVID-19 song. I think I've written a few since then. It's sort of hard not to somehow. But so I wrote this when I learned that New York had canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade. So I guess it was maybe a little more than a year ago that I learned that. But anyway, so I think that's what I'll do. It's to a familiar tune. At least I hope it'll be familiar to people. It's a short little song. Oh, Patty, have you heard the news? It makes me sore afraid. New York town has cancelled the St. Patrick's Day parade. We'll not raise a glass of Guinness or Baileys or Pachin. The restaurants and bars are closed against COVID-19. Against COVID-19. Against COVID-19. The restaurants and bars are closed against COVID-19. Some are struggling to pay the bills, their jobs have gone away. The schools are closed and kids are going hungry every day. The poor grannies with the virus, some of them will die. We each must do the best we can to help them all get by. To help them all get by, to help them all get by. We each must do the best we can to help them all get by. So let's count our many blessings like the roof above our heads, food and warmth and Wi-Fi and our comfortable beds. We will celebrate St. Patrick's Day by hunkering in place and raise a glass and drink good health to all the human race. To all the human race, friends, to all the human race. We'll raise a glass and drink good health to all the human race. Good health.
Yes.
Indeed. And
I'm glad I went and did that. Yeah, no, it's a great piece, and for tough times. Yeah.
it's kind of bizarre to think here we are a year later and we're still in this.
Yeah, still no. This year is a virtual St. Patrick's Day parade in New York.
Yep. So the good news is, folks are figuring out a lot of virtual things.
Yes.
It's really sad
Like
that we're
this.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
This is
really been
fabulous.
a bright spot in our
our year.
I'm gonna
Just because we're chopping the top of your head off.
I can get the rest of my head in there just a little bit better. Well, so we often try to think of what could follow a song that we've just heard,
And we have no
we don't have anything
Irish
St. Patrick's
songs or
Day
St.
thing.
Patrick's Day songs.
But I was thinking about a different hard time in the past. That was during the Depression, and somebody was clumping.
I heard footsteps.
That's
Footsteps
okay.
up the stairs.
So during the Depression, the Works Progress Administration and the CCC were all providing some help to people. And hello. And so I'd been thinking about that one day when we had a prompt of honest pay. And so this was a different hard time in the history of our country.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just start with the instrumental on the chorus first.
Okay.
Come sit round the fire at the close of the day, share a few stories of children far away, sing a few songs while the stars rise above, and dream of the families we love. Greed got us here. Now the banks are all closed. The rich speculated. Now they've got the gold. The promises bubbled. Then came the crash. No telling how long this will last. So thank goodness for the WPA, treating my family so far away. If digging ditches pays, I'll do it all day long, and dream of when I get to go back home. I was a carpenter, earned a good wage, saved in the bank. Now it's all gone away. The rich survive with their mansions and yachts. For us little folk, that's not our lot. So thank goodness for the WPA, feeding my family so far away. If digging ditches pays, I'll do it all day long, and dream of when I get to go back home. Digging ditches, building bridges, planting new trees, whether it was needed, doesn't matter much to me as long as I work and earn an honest pay. I'll do my best every day. So thank goodness for the WPA, feeding my family so far away. If digging ditches pays, I'll do it all day long, and dream of when I get to go back home. So come sit round the fire at the close of the day, share a few stories of children far away, sing a few songs while the stars rise above, and dream of the families we love. So thank goodness for the WPA, feeding my family so far away. If digging ditches pays, I'll do it all day long, and dream of when I get to go back home. And dream of when I get to go back home.
Yeah.
Great.
I haven't played that one in quite a while.
Yeah.
That was nice.
What's the origin? What's the origin of that song?
Oh, Richard is here. I thought he was going to be in a meeting, but his meeting's over. He wants to know what's the origin of the song.
So I had a prompt of honest pay, and
Right.
I built it from that. So
Okay, and now you can see the top of my head, too. Cool.
and also
Now-
our cabin in the Berkshires, there's a CCC camp plaque at the end of the road.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, well, that's what we really need, is another CCC.
Yep.
Now, since Richard is here, I unplugged my headphones. Should I put it back on to sing? Would that be a good
you
idea?
Don't need to.
No? Okay. Okay, if there's any problem, just let me know.
Yep.
So, I wanted to kind of change the subject a little bit because there were two songs that I wrote that were given a prize at the songwriting contest of the South Florida Folk Festival.
Nice.
So I thought I might as well do those. This one is kind of a personal one. It's an absolutely true story. And you'll be interested to know that this happened when I was returning from a People's Music Network weekend in January of 2009. And this is called We Will Survive. Pulled into my driveway, find my door wide open, jumped into the hallway, the door frame had been broken. I ran into the bedroom, My laptop had been stolen. I picked up the phone and dialed 911. At least my weekend had been fun. I hope they like my laptop, my brain's external hard drive. It contained every detail of my complicated life, the minutes of the meetings, the family photographs, the lyrics and the chords to all my songs. I'd been meaning to back up for so long. None of us walk safely through this world. None of us gets out of here alive. Each of us is doomed to die alone. But we will survive. They also got my jewelry, my bracelets and my bangles, my mother's opal earrings and the hippie ones that dangled, my chains of gold and silver. I hope they all got tangled, all the presents like the string of cultured pearls my daddy gave me when I was a little girl. But I haven't even told you the most dreadful part of all. My little cat could not be found. She didn't heed my call. I figured in her terror she dashed through the open door, and I pictured her not knowing where to go. All alone and frozen in the snow. None of us walk safely through this world. None of us gets out of here alive. Each of us is doomed to die alone. But we will survive. The policeman came right over, sympathetic and polite. He dusted for fingerprints just like on CSI. A friend came by and fixed the door so I could sleep that night. We were drinking tea and having a nice chat. When up the basement stairs, here comes the cat. They can take away my laptop, they can take my golden chains, but the memories that matter are the ones that still remain. I don't need stuff to remember all my joys and all my pains. Consumer goods can always be replaced, but save receipts and backup data just in case. None of us walk safely through this world. None of us gets out of here alive. Each of us is doomed to die alone. But we will survive. Yes, we will. We will survive. Yes, we will. We will survive. Oh, yeah. We will survive.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad the cat came back.
That's what everybody always says.
Yeah.
Yes.
The important things are there.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Taught me a lot about priorities.
Yeah.
that's for sure.
And backups too, I'm sure.
But
Yeah.
Beautiful ending to the story. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and we were playing along and singing along, so not that you
Oh,
could
really?
hear,
Cool.
But, well, as it happens, we're playing. This song will be in the same key and the same capo, so
Uh-huh.
it just worked out that way. But we always are big into harmonies. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
we were here, if we were in person, we'd have been adding harmonies to your songs. That's what we
I'm
do.
sure.
It's our thing.
Yep. But so in trying to decide what to follow that with, we decided to head to the western Massachusetts town of Becket.
Oh, I love Becket.
We have a cabin there that my dad built.
Oh, wow.
He's gone many years now, and my brother and I own it. I take care of it. We take care of it, really. And but this is about the town itself. So Becket was a thriving industrial town in the early 1900s. Timber, baskets, various other things were made at mills all down the Westfield River. And it was 1927. 5 inches of rain in 36 hours took out one of the dams up the river. The wall of water took out all of the mills, a lot of the houses, and there are pictures. It looks like a hurricane went through. And the town never really rebuilt from that.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
they
factories
built,
were gone.
The factories never came back.
Yeah.
Becket was known for all of the granite that made the State House, and many of the other buildings in Boston came from Becket. But it's now these days a sleepy little town. It's an artist community and a bedroom community.
Can I ask you, is Dreamaway Lodge still there?
It is.
Apparently, Daniel has it up for sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was there, oh my God, it must have been like 1974 or 75, something like that. And I still remember it. It was just such a cool place. There was
It's
this
a
very
very
old
funky
lady
place.
that ran it. Well, I thought she was very old. She's probably my age, the age I am now.
It's changed hands a few times, I guess, and it sounds like it's up for sale again.
Yeah.
So
But it's about 3 miles from the cabin.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
so we've been there. It's off in the woods in the middle of nowhere. A lot of Beckett's in the middle of nowhere.
A lot of downtown Becket is in the middle
That's
of nowhere.
true. So this song takes place at the center of life of any small town, the general store. All right. At the general store you can get doghouse roses and cigarettes, rods and reels and fishing nets, movie rentals and snacks for pets. In this sleepy little town, in this sleepy little town, this old town that time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. At the general store it all goes down, social hub of this small town, where the gossip goes around and policeman makes his daily rounds. In this sleepy little town, in this sleepy little town, this old town that time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. At the general store you'll find it all, snowshoes hanging from the wall, gas your car, brakes for fall, what you need though it's no mall. In this sleepy little town, in this sleepy little town, this old town, the time for a guy I know, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. Highway went by years ago, factory moved to Mexico, quarry is closed and the motel too, quiet settles like the morning But the general store has closed its doors. Dust collects on creaking floors. Can't shop in this town no more, and we don't know what's in store for this sleepy little town. For this sleepy little town. This old town that time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots. Neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. In this sleepy little town.
Oh, that's lovely.
I got a little lost in it.
We ended up with an extra chorus.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounded
At the
right
end
to
of
me.
the general store, the one with the snowshoes and stuff, it's supposed to go directly to the bridge, but
It didn't.
it didn't. So I started and I just looked over and said, I know. Let's keep going.
Nobody would have known if you hadn't
I
told
know.
us.
Yep.
I know.
But if I looked a little befuddled in there, that was why.
Yeah, well, I know that. I've sung with groups and other people, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
I
go
remember
with
one
it.
time, the guy who produced my albums, Vito Petrosito Jr., was a fabulous musician, and I was doing a CD release party, and when I got to a certain song and he was accompanying me on it, I forgot to put my capo on. And I was wondering why it was so low. Well, of course, he noticed right away, and he just switched
Adjusted.
keys
Yeah.
and
Yep.
played it in the key that I was playing without batting an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier for a bass player to just slide down a couple of frets.
Yeah, but he was playing lead guitar.
That's a little
He
more
did it.
More
exciting.
challenging, yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Mark Dan the other day. Vito
Yep.
is a musician like that, just really
Can
quick
play
on the draw.
anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
So, well, I think I'll follow that with a song that Pete Seeger liked a lot. It's about a woman who called herself Peace Pilgrim,
Ah,
and
yes.
she walked back and forth across the United States for nearly 28 years, talking about peace. She talked about peace between nations and peace between individuals and inner peace, and she always said that inner peace was the most important.
Yeah.
And so I learned about her at some peace festival. I picked up a little brochure about her. And if you go to peacepilgrim.org, that brochure is available online, as is a whole book of her sayings and audio and video. And so peacepilgrim.org. Anyway, so this song is about Peace Pilgrim. And Pete and I used to be at a peace vigil every Saturday from 12 to 2. This was just started just before the Second Iraq War began. We thought we were going to prevent the Iraq War by having a peace vigil.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. So the peace vigil continued for years and years. And at the end, like we would vigil from 12 to 2, and then the idea was at the end, we had planted a peace pole at the spot, very busy intersection where cars were going by all the time. So we planted a peace pole there, and at 2 p.m., we all sang around the peace pole. But it finally got to the point where sometimes I would get there late because I couldn't stand there for 2 hours. So I'd get there about 1 o'clock, and Pete would say, "Take out your guitar." And we would just sing from 1 to 2, and then after as well. So one day he said, that's a really good song, but you could write another verse to it about how, even though Peace Pilgrim died a long time ago, she's standing with us at this vigil. So I said, sure, and I wrote that verse. And then when he died, I wrote another verse. And I just want to say, Peace Pilgrim's sister. Well, first of all, because I wrote this song and I sent it to the Peace Pilgrim website, they invited me to go to Peace Pilgrim's hometown, which was Egg Harbor City, New Jersey, down sort of near Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And I met all kinds of very interesting and wonderful people there, the people who are members or friends of Peace Pilgrim, which is the organization that has kind of kept her words alive. And I met Peace Pilgrim's sister, who at the time was getting on to be 100.
Wow.
Well, she died a few months ago, close to the age of 106. Like she was maybe a month or two away from her 106th birthday.
Bless her.
And she was just a remarkable person. And I wrote a verse to the song Peace Pilgrim to sing at her 100th birthday party. So if you don't mind, I'm going to sing all the verses. There's a lot of them. Because the song started out with 4, and then Pete told me to write another one, so then it became 5. And then when Pete passed, I wrote another one that's 6, and I'm going to sing the one for Helene, Peace Pilgrim's sister. So it's a kind of a long song, but the first song I sang was very short. So, and the chorus is pretty much Peace's own words, and some of the verses also kind of incorporate Peace Pilgrim's words in there, including, she used to refer to her body as her robe of clay or her clay garment. And she said, I'm not afraid of death because when I die, I will just shed this clay garment. So, and pass to a freer life, she says. So some of that is in the song. And by the way, she did die at the age of, I think it was around 71, 72, when the car that she was riding in on the way to a speaking engagement got into a head-on collision.
Oh.
So she was in perfect health, but apparently she wasn't afraid to die, and her words live on. So that's a good thing. So, Peace Pilgrim. Her name was Peace Pilgrim, her age was unknown. She carried no money and she had no home. She walked our land for 28 years to show us we can overcome our hatred and our fear. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. Her message was simple, it's all been said before. We cannot learn peace while we're waging war. Good will conquer evil, truth will conquer lies, love will conquer hatred, if only we will try. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. She carried in her pockets everything she owned. Some nights she slept on pillows and some nights she slept on stones. One day out on the highway she shed her robe of clay, but the message that she carried still lives on in us today. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. The place to begin is deep within yourself. Then you can show the way to someone else. When enough of us have learned to live in harmony, the old ways will crumble and our love will set us free. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. As we stand here on this corner in sun and rain and snow, we remember Peace Pilgrim and her words of long ago. Though her spirit flew to freedom in 1981, She's standing here among us as our prayers for peace are sung. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. As we gather here together to try and right the wrongs, we remember Pete Seeger and the power of his songs, his courage and his wisdom, his kind and humble grace. Now he's walking with Peace Pilgrim, leaving us to take his place. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. Peace Pilgrim had a sister, her name was Helene, the kindest woman that you've ever seen. She carried peace's message and helped her on her way. For a century of love and peace, we honor her today. She said, I will walk until I'm given shelter. I will fast until I'm given bread. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace. I will remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace.
That's fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
A
And-
nice tribute piece to Pete as well. in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And a nice touch for her sister as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Pete
you.
and Toshi gave me a place to go when I needed it, when I was
Really?
in college, and I'll forever be grateful.
And I'll be grateful to Toshi for teaching Dan her lessons of cooking.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Stone soup?
I helped, was it 81 maybe? Maybe it was 82, but I think it was 81. I went down to Beacon a couple weeks before the festival, and I prepped the vegetables for stone soup.
Wow.
Sitting out in the back patio looking out over the Hudson, Katama was in a wind-up swing.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
One of the lessons, never peel 25 pounds of garlic down to cloves with your bare hands.
Oh,
My hands were bright red for 3 days.
oh, my
Oil.
goodness.
But
So if I can put in a little plug, there's a place not too far from me called Tompkins Corners Cultural Center. And every year, I guess since Pete passed, they've had a remembrance to him right around his birthday in early May. And this year, I want to say it's May 2nd, and I've been in it, I think, every year since it's been going, and I'll be in it again this year. So if and it's actually going to be live. That'll probably be my first live gig in quite a long time.
Yeah.
And so Tompkins Corners Cultural Center, Pete Seeger, remembrance, honor, whatever you want to call it. There'll be a lot of really good musicians there, Betty and the Baby Boomers, Lydia Adams Davis, David Burns, and Jacob Burns.
Nice.
So just putting in that plug for anybody who might be able to make it, but unfortunately, you're going to actually have to get in your car and drive to it. I don't think there's even going to be an option of having it online.
Yeah.
we have not been more than about 80 miles from here. Other than a couple trips north, but
Yeah. And we did park in a friend's driveway up in Maine. There are a couple of friends' driveways up in Maine last summer, and other than that, we haven't really gone
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah, we took a long weekend in Maine, and that was it, right? That's all. Last summer, we went up to Maine for a couple of days, and That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and normally we're on the road a lot, and we just haven't been.
Yeah.
It's very strange, but oh well. But we're making the best of it with online stuff,
Yeah.
and hopefully this summer we'll have at least a few opportunities to see other humans.
Hopefully so. And
I
New
think
Hampshire's
so.
opening up for our age group, opening up registration next Monday. So we'll see when we actually get the shots, but the minute they open the registration, we're just going to
Pounce.
jump on it.
Yeah, we actually had our first shot about a week ago, and in 2 weeks we
Excellent.
get our last one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been celebrating every friend who's gotten there, and it's just we're just so pleased to see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next song we're thinking about doing is one called "The Path You Choose," and talks about wandering in the village. So that was one of the tie-ins, but it seemed like it would fit.
Yeah.
Talk about another one we haven't done in ages. Ready?
Yep.
Be kind,
Be kind.
try to help,
Try to help.
speak your mind,
Speak your mind.
be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make, twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Winding paths, country lanes, given time, all look the same. New places to explore, time to open up new doors. And be kind,
Be kind.
try to help,
Try to help.
speak your mind,
Speak your mind.
be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make, twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Take a walk, ride your bike, a gentle stroll, a mountain hike. The path you chose led you here. Embrace all you hold dear, and be kind,
Be kind.
try to help,
Try to help.
speak your mind,
Speak your mind.
be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make, twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Birds in flight, soaring high, carving paths across the sky, in big flocks or all alone. The choice, their very own. Though we wander, we're not lost. Savor freedom, not its cost. In the end, leaves must fall in one last curtain call. So be kind,
Be kind.
try to help,
Try to help.
speak your mind,
Speak your mind.
be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make, twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. All roads lead back.
To the highway.
We're at the Dreamaway Lodge at their weekly
Song circle.
one
Ah.
night, and we were playing Four Strong Winds, which sort of leaves you on the floor, and sort of leaves you hanging. And this young kid sitting across the circle from us, when we ended it like that, looked at us and went, "Resolve it, damn it!" He just couldn't handle it ending like that.
I know somebody once ended a song like that, and the person that followed him said, "I'm going to go home and sing La," whatever the tonic was.
Yeah. We're talking to Jack Williams years ago, who was saying that he's noticed that when Northerners sing, they like to end on weird chords like that. He said, but when we Southerners sing, we resolve it back to the root.
He said it took him a while to get used to the unresolved
these,
stuff.
These
That's
crazy Yankees,
interesting.
Yeah.
Adds to the fun.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to do a song about. I guess you can see it.
Yes.
This is a statue that many people may know of. That's called Fearless Girl, and she doesn't usually wear a collar. After Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, somebody put a collar on her, and somebody took a picture of that, and that's the picture that I have. But
And
she used to stand like that with her hands on her hips in front of the bull, in front of the Merrill Lynch building by Wall Street, on Wall Street.
Did they finally remove her?
She's
statue?
moved elsewhere at this point.
Yeah, she's moved elsewhere, I think, in the neighborhood. But the guy who sculpted the bull was very angry. He didn't want that statue there. And eventually he won and got it taken
I
away.
think she's facing the stock exchange now.
I hope so. Yeah,
is equally
she is still in that area.
Yeah.
So actually, the song is not about her, but the chorus is about her. So you have to sort of know who Fearless Girl is to understand the song. But the song is actually about 3 fearless girls who have been a great inspiration to me and I think to the whole world. October 9th, 2012, Swat Valley, Pakistan. Malala dared to go to school despite the Taliban. They tried to kill her for they feared this educated girl. They only served to spread her message all around the world. On her 16th birthday, she spoke at the UN of justice and equality for women and for men. She said every child deserves the chance to learn and to be free. If we want to build a better world, education is the key. Fearless girl, staring down a raging bull, you're an inspiration to us all. What can I do to follow you? Fearless girl. Parkland, Florida, Valentine's Day. In 6 minutes, 20 seconds, 17 lives were blown away. Emma vowed no other school should face this tragedy. We're marching for our lives in Washington, D.C. Emma told the millions we call BS today. On the politicians, on the NRA, on those who say that gun laws won't prevent gun violence. Then for 6 minutes, 20 seconds, Emma stood in silence. Fearless girl, Staring down a raging bull, you're an inspiration to us all. What can I do to follow you? Fearless girl. Greta couldn't eat or sleep, she was so distressed. The climate crisis left her feeling hopeless and depressed. She stood outside of Parliament with a sign that read "School Strike." At first she stood alone, then thousands more joined in the fight. She sailed across the ocean in a carbon-neutral yacht. She spoke at the UN and put those leaders on the spot. "How dare you," scolded Greta, "leave me and my peers with this human-caused disaster that you ignored for years." Fearless girl, staring down a raging bull, you're an inspiration to us all. What can I do to follow you? Fearless girls, staring down a raging bull, you're an inspiration to us all. What can we do to follow you? Fearless girls.
Yeah.
That's great.
And all three of them are just so
Yes.
worthy of being celebrated.
It's just amazing. I mean, when I think of, I was very political when I was a teenager, but to get up in front of the UN, to get up in Washington, D.C., to talk to a
In
million
front of-
people.
Did you see the video or picture of her when Trump walked by?
Yes. Yes.
And there were just daggers coming out of her eyes.
And
And
he over time was tweeting out things that were very condescending toward her. She's been turning them around and
yes.
flipping
Oh,
them
she's-
back on him,
She's smart.
biting.
There was a beautiful picture of her and Malala
Yeah,
together.
just the other day. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know,
Leaders for the future.
it breaks my
Yes.
heart that they had to step up at such a young age. But I am so incredibly heartened for the future by the fact that they stepped up at a young age.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And we do have a piece for Parkland, but we had already thought about a different song. We have one the one for Parkland. We passed through Parkland on the 12th of February that year
Wow.
on our way north from Florida. And,
It didn't register until 2 days later. So.
but
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's actually.
And now there's another mass shooting.
Yeah. And this time it's the Asian Americans that are targeted. And
Although it's very weird, this guy.
It's not clear if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
but
racial or
yeah, not
something
clear,
else,
but certainly they're taking the brunt of it, and they're getting
Yes.
an awful lot of abuse across the country, which is wrong because
Ah,
they had nothing to do with any of this.
that's right.
Yeah. So
Yep. Well, so we're going to sing about one of the people who made a huge difference in my life, musically especially, but just overall. It's about a fellow named Dr. John Motley. Dr. Motley was the music director for the New York City Public Schools, starting from 1964 until '84. He was a black man from Charlotte, South Carolina. A black man didn't get that job in New York City even in 1964. But he was hand-selected by Peter J. Wilhowsky, who was a famous choral conductor and arranger.
and had been the director
And
of the
he had
music
been the
director.
first director of music for the New York City Public Schools, and also founded the All-City Chorus.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I came along in 1977 and joined the All-City Chorus, Dr. Motley was the conductor. One of the things we did that year was sing at Dr. Wilhowsky's memorial, because he had passed away that year. And in 2011, really been that long.
Oh my God, has it really?
It's been 10 years.
Wow.
Dr. Motley passed. We had sung 2 years before he passed away. We did a show at St. Francis College in Brooklyn as a fundraiser for his for a chair in a department in his name, and as a scholarship thing.
Yeah.
And actually, just the other day, that popped up in my in Facebook as a memory.
And Dr. Motley himself conducted 2 of the songs that day, and played
He was frail at the
piano,
time,
and apologized profusely for not being, up to his old piano playing skills.
It only sounded like there were 8 hands on the piano, not 10. He was incredible. But yeah, he would. It was it Marian Anderson?
No, Maria Callas.
I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to tour in the summers. He would play accompanist and tour with people in Europe. So
Opera stars.
yeah.
Wow.
But he was. He founded. He continued the All City Chorus, and he founded the concert choir, which was a 50-voice subset. And the way you got in the concert choir was somebody else who was in the concert choir recommended you from amongst the larger chorus. And I was invited into that, and we sang for every visiting diplomat in the city.
Wow.
And there's a bit in the song about singing at Gracie Mansion. There was a night at Gracie Mansion where all of the UN diplomats were at Gracie Mansion. Ed Koch was the mayor. Ed Koch loved us and brought us into all kinds of events, but there were 50 of us singing, and then he gave us a tour of the mansion and knew everything about every piece of art in the mansion.
Wow.
And he spent an hour with us away
Wow.
from his guests.
Yeah.
So.
And that was when Andrew Young had just been named to the as ambassador to the UN from the U.S., and this was a reception to celebrate that. The concert
Yeah.
choir got to sing at.
And most of my compatriots in the concert choir were Black or Latino, and it was a very big deal to get to meet Andy Young. I thought it was too, but for them especially,
Yeah.
because he was the first Black
Ambassador we had.
So this is a bit about Dr. Motley and about the chorus.
Great.
Ready?
Yep.
And get my hand in the right place.
Yep.
A wise man taught us long ago to share the love within our hearts, do our best, and we would know we'd each done our part. And so we'd sing for diplomats, it was peace we'd celebrate, sang for the Pope and immigrants.
Let's start this again. You just conflated 2 verses.
Did I?
Oh, thoroughly.
I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
gonna do
screwing
that
up
again.
songs tonight, sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to look at the lyrics. A wise man taught us long ago to share the love within our hearts, sing with joy, and we would know that we'd each done our part. And so we'd sing for diplomats, it was peace we'd celebrate, sang for the Pope and immigrants, kings and heads of state. A lifetime of memories of wisdom and grace. We lived them all together, right here in this place. A lifetime of giving of the music in our souls. That's the gift he gave to us to keep as we grow old. Gracie Mansion, City Hall, Lincoln Center, Herald Square. Cathedrals large and churches small, and the music filled the air. And now it's time to say goodbye to a mentor and a friend. But each of us knows just why he'll be with us without end. A lifetime of memories of wisdom and grace. We lived them all together, right here in this place. A lifetime of giving, of the music in our souls. That's the gift He gave to us to keep as we grow old. For Dr. Motley.
Beautiful. Very nice.
I wasn't
Reminds
there
me-
for the Pope. That was the year before me, but
He did get Jimmy Carter, though.
yeah.
So,
Jimmy Carter was 10 feet in front of me for a
Cool.
show.
yep.
Cool.
And Secret Service snipers on the roof of Cooper Union aimed at the chorus.
Sing or die.
You weren't the ones
There was a
they
lot
had
of
to worry
Secret Service
about, I'm
between
sure.
us and Jimmy Carter as well, but then the sharpshooters were like over the top.
That was special, yeah. So, all right, so we got time for one more, if you want to
Okay.
sing us out, and
And then we'll chat a
Sure.
little bit
after
after.
that.
Well, this is actually what I was going to do. I think fits nicely with that for a couple of reasons. I was going to say that that song reminds me of a story that a friend from Summer Songs, which is a songwriters retreat. So she told David Roth this story about how she decided there was a music teacher that she had had in elementary school that meant a whole lot to her. And she was home as an adult. I don't remember how old she was, but she was home and she was talking to her mother about how much Mr. Ryan meant to her. And did he still teach at the school? And she said, oh, yes, he's still there. Why don't you go and see him? So she actually went down to her elementary school, and I guess it had just gotten out. So he was still there, but he wasn't teaching. And she went in and she told him how much he had meant to her and how important he was to her. And he said, it's just amazing that you should come along, because I was just talking to my mother last night saying that I kind of regret that I never had children. And she said, oh, but you had thousands of children.
Yeah.
So David Roth wrote a song about that. I think it's called something like Mr. Ryan. Anyway, and the reason I want to mention that is that David Roth helped me write this song. I had come to Summer Songs with the chorus, and I didn't know where to go from there. And he gave me an idea, which kind of turned into the third verse, and then I just got the next two verses overnight, and here it is. And it is in the sequel to Rise Up Singing, the Rise Again book.
Nice.
So it's called Singer of Songs, and I know you'll be singing along. Singer of songs, writer of rhymes, righter of wrongs, changer of times, you've found your place, you've planted a seed, right where your deepest love meets the world's greatest need. When you were a kid, you picked up a guitar. Don't know why you did, it's just who you are. You looked around, saw a lot that was wrong, so you set out to change the world with the power of song. Singer of songs, writer of rhymes, righter of wrongs, changer of times, you've found your place, you've planted a seed, right where your deepest love meets the world's greatest need. You blew into town 4 hours ago, third stop on the tour, 5 more to go. You stood on the stage, opened your soul. If everyone lived that way, we could make the world whole. Singer of songs, rhymes, righter of wrongs, changer of times. You've found your place, you've planted a seed, right where your deepest love meets the world's greatest need. So thank you for this beautiful time, such moments of bliss, so hard to find. The songs that you sing, the stories you tell, it's what you were born to do, and you do it so well. Singer of songs, writer of rhymes, righter of wrongs, changer of times. You've found your place, you've planted a seed, right where your deepest love meets the world's greatest need. You've found your place, you've planted a seed, right where your deepest love meets the world's greatest need.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of a better song to end with.
That was perfect.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. This has really been so much fun.
Yeah, it has.
It has.
And helped make a fairly stressful day a lot better. Thank you.
Well, I hope tomorrow's better.
Oh, me too. So it's been great to have you with us, and looking forward. Good luck with the Pete Seeger celebration. He's certainly
you.
still well worth celebrating. And
It is missed.
Yep.
But as with Peace Pilgrims, we carry on the work for these folks who have shown us the way.
yeah,
That's correct. Yes,
And,
indeed. Mm-hmm.
I have a song for John Lewis, and that's part of the message
another
there.
one. Yeah,
It's
go out and get in good trouble.
Yes.
find good trouble. and
Necessary
walk with the
trouble.
wind. Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you for everybody who will tune in later.
Yes.
Because this will stay up for a while.
Yes,
And,
thank you.
And we will see everybody the next
And
time.
we should throw the banner back up. So
Oh,
and
yes, we absolutely should
you,
do that.
You can find Pat at patlamana.com with
Yes.
2 N's.
2 ends.
And you'll find us at danandfaith.com. Please do check out Pat's music. She has some beautiful, powerful songs that are well worth sharing.
Thank you. Oh, and I
Absolutely.
should say that that last song, Singer of Songs, just to show how generous David Roth is, I asked him if he would accompany me on my album, and he did. So he plays lead guitar and sings harmony on that song that I just did. And I have some other really good people backing me up on all 3 of my CDs.
Yeah, David's a sweetie.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
And a prolific songwriter. Oh my God.
Oh, goodness.
It's what he does. It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a treat to get to see him perform.
Yep.
All right, we'll say goodnight to everybody and wave, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Yeah. Good night, y'all.
Good night.